What's up, everybody? I am the Fogman. Welcome back to another PlayStation 2 playthrough of the B-Movie game. And today is the motherfucking album review. I lied to you. We're doing an album review for the new Dead Ringers album, Essex Boys. It's here. It's been here, actually. I'm really late to reviewing this. I procrastinate absolutely everything. Existence is crippling. Anyways, the Dead Ringers, famed hardcore underground music titans. The Dead Ringers fuse stoner rock, garage rock, punk music, and a lot of other stuff from just like surf rock and pop, prog rock. Very drippy psychedelic production, just soaked in reverb and delays, but it's used to kind of give it that swirling mind loop kind of feeling. These real like psychedelic production techniques didn't really kick in until they started with the self-titled record and Antidepressant Distraction. Before that, they were just kind of like a lightly psychedelic garage rock band with the tendency to go hardcore now and then. But my problem with those early records is that the production was just so flat. It didn't capture any of the life of like the actual band as they performed live. But once they hit a certain point with production, they really started to master it. Now, track 1 starts with this punky instrumental, and right off the bat, the production is more clear and just like punchy sounding than anything I've ever heard them record. Most of what they record is very fuzzy in the background. It has a very thick atmosphere to it. This has a little bit like skinnier of an atmosphere to the background, but the production is still like, it still has life to it. It doesn't suck the life out of it like the early production on the early albums did. It's like you can clearly hear everything, and there's still a grit like and a bounce to it. This is pretty much across the whole record, even on the sludgier tracks and whatnot. It's not too overbearing, but it's not like boring either. So it's not one of those things where it's like super like heavy production, but it's not like the most mild thing you'll ever hear either. But yeah, back to track 1. I mean, the track is just really consistently high energy. It's a great way to kick off a record. Just, punky kind of garage rock rager. There's a really nice like noisy kind of psychedelic guitar solo section that really goes over well, and it transitions beautifully back into the the chorus and whatnot. Track 2 is called Blown. Track 1 was called Duck, by the way. I'm incoherent. Track 2 is called Blown, and this is one of my more favorite tracks on the record. Riff is incredibly catchy, sticks in your head. I just love everything about this track. The solo at the end is the other thing. The pitch shifted solo, I don't know if this is like a whammy pedal or what. Dude, it goes too hard. It just goes too hard. At first it kind of caught my ear and I was like, what is that? I didn't know if it was feedback or guitar shrieking. I still don't know. And it still makes the end of the song sound just like chaotic as hell, even for being a slow, drawn out kind of part. Track 3 is called 1 2 Fuck You. I wasn't too crazy about the intro and main riff of this track, just because of the use of the octave slides. I like the mixing of punk with the surfy kind of stuff, but the way the octave slide, it just doesn't like my ear. It doesn't hit my ear right. I just don't. It doesn't. The way that riff is structured is not for me. But otherwise, still a good energy track to the core, the message definitely. Yeah, 1 2 Fuck You, absolutely. Track 4, I get a whiff of like classic punk kind of stuff off of this, like early punk. You can probably hear my dog scratching herself in the background. This goblin. But yeah, the drumming, it's this weird thing where like sorry. the the guitars tell me like classic punk and the drumming tells me like classic surf rock, but it's still like a pretty good like rager of a track. The melody of the chorus is nice. Jesus vocals, nice. Parasites, track number 5. It confuses me a bit. The beginning. Is that a bass? Is it a bass or is it a guitar? Like, look, Aaron, I know you have like this extreme bigotry toward bass guitars, but like, you've got to make it evident when you are, you know, so willing to slander the bass guitar, whether or not this very low-tuned instrument on your album is a bass guitar or not. I think you should be the one who, you know, tells people. Anyways, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm really passionate about the bass guitar. As you can tell, there's a 5-string right behind me. I love the bass so much that I record some of my own dumps and sample them as bass notes in my trap songs. Follow me at Young Chang. I am Young Chang, not Andrew Heslop. That is me. Where was I? I am a horrible person. Anyways, no, I'm, you know, the groove is really strong here. I love the riff. I love everything about it. Like the guitar tone is amazing. Like this song actually fucks really hard. Like the guitar tone slaps and it makes the grooviness of the riff just hit. It is an amazing track through and through. Parasites will go down as one of my favorite Dead Ringer songs ever. Let me see. But anyways, okay, I guess we're just gonna go on to track 6. I don't have any other words. Track 6. It's like prog rock with a surfy twist. That's basically it. I like it. I just don't have anything else to say. It has a good catharsis at the end because of the way it builds. But I just don't like it crescendos well. I just don't have really anything else to say about it. It's like just kind of like your standard like good Dead Ringers tune. Track 7 is called Groan. The guitars on the verses here. Okay, now this is the one I really remember. Dude, the riffs on this one sound exactly like that one Buzzcocks song about falling in love or whatever. I could not unhear the Buzzcocks when I heard this song. It's just, I mean, I like Jason's vocals on it and otherwise, but it's just that main verse riff. That main riff, it's Buzzcocks through and through and through. It reminds me of Buzzcocks. Otherwise, it's a good track. Track 8, Jeff Feels Better. There's a lot of lore to this. So the lyrics kind of confuse me to this song a little bit because it's a little all over the place. But it's like a low key. It starts as like kind of a low key piece of like indie rock. Slowly but steadily builds into this jam piece with a lot of flying saxophone and trumpet solos, I assume. There's a lot of really nice trumpet just horn sections on this album in general, actually. They're very tastefully added, I might add. I kind of forgot to add that earlier. But yeah, there's a couple samples ripped. The title of the song is in reference to a guy that they sampled on the song. And this guy is just some random like guy who runs an Instagram account, and he's probably from what I've gathered, the dude is just perpetually overdosing on ketamine. Like, I don't understand anything that this man says, and he posts things that are completely incoherent. But the lore's, you know, the lore behind the guy is kind of funny. But again, at the end of this song, it just, the saxophones, or the horn section, whatever, dude, it builds into this absolute amazing solo section. It is just, you have to listen to it. It is amazing. Compositionally, this whole song, even if you don't understand the lyrics, please listen to this song. Even if you're not into rock music, please listen to this song. It is an absolute jam piece for the century. And then we get onto the last track, Track 9, Essex Boys. This is what we've all been waiting for. No, it's not a hardcore song like I was hoping for. Although it can be. Hit me up, Aaron. It's a really nice, cheeky piece of, like, acoustic, indie, garage rock. It still has such a catchy fucking chorus, I have to admit. It's, like, one of the greatest songs ever. To ever come out of a local band from this area. It is so amazingly catchy. It should be a local fucking radio hit, honestly. You know, Jason's yelled, like, kind of strained vocals. They kind of just, like, they emphasize how just, like, perfect a song can be. Even if you're not, like, a tremendous, like, Mariah Carey, like, singer, you know? Like, you don't have to have the pipes of an, you know, a goddess, or, you know, like a Shawn Mendes, or what other male vocalist is popular right now? I don't think there's any male singers. Mario Judah? Anyways, my point is, you don't have to be the highest on skill to have your vocals come through in a way that make the track incredibly impactful, incredibly catchy, and very fucking infectious to listen to. Like, honestly, I love this fucking song, even for just it not being the kind, the kind of rock or, you know, music I go to listen to typically. You know, there's a lot of reasons why I keep this album in my car, because it's just that good. So, yeah, and also, one last thing about that song. The harmonica solo at the bridge fucks. Absolutely fucks. I think that's all I've got to say about the music. It's a little bit more mild than their previous efforts. It's not as dripping in psychedelic production. It's not as heavy or aggressive. There's no hardcore songs on this record. There's no fast, like, punk songs. It's mostly more progressive takes on their previous efforts, and but overall it turned into a really good and, like, cohesive batch of songs that just absolutely have the potential to stick around for a long time, given, you know, this band can get the right marketing and get their music out to the masses properly. You know, one day I'd love to hear them step into heavier territory. That's kind of what I was hoping this album was going to be when I first saw the title of the album, just because of, you know, Essex what, you know, shout out to Hellbent. So, anyways, I rate this motherfucker a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Even though it is not my favorite Dead Ringers album through and through, it still is objectively their most well-written and most well-put-together and best produced, just most well-rounded and well-put-together album altogether. I've got to go. Please subscribe or I will harvest your organs and send them back to the mothership!